Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the private Everlasting server. And we are a level 25 Scrapper, Silver Phoenix. Just hit level 25 and added some invention enhancements. You may hear some beeps. A good friend of mine is a big fan, or has been, I guess, maybe he's not anymore, a big fan of Game of Thrones, and I made the mistake. This is today, as I record, this is the final episode I guess is being aired tonight. I have not watched any of it. I didn't like the books. After book 3, I just gave up, so I have not seen the series. But he's a big fan, and he's been watching it for all 8 seasons, I guess. And tonight's the final one. And I made the mistake of saying, How's the season going? Are you enjoying it?" I assumed he was like all into it, and he was like, "No, it's terrible. It's horrible. They're ruining it." And so he's been ranting a little bit. So if you hear some beeps, it's probably him adding some more rants to the dialogue. So we're on a ship, cargo ship, and we're looking for Tommy One Eye and his crew, which is a mission that we are doing for our contact, Stephanie Peoples. And we're in Striga Island. And so we're going to just start beating the crap out of these guys. We'll see if our endurance holds up a little bit better now that Crane Kick has an endurance reducer on it. It shouldn't be dramatically different, but maybe a little different. We're also going to need to add at least another slot or so to Practice Brawler. It's taking me a second to think which one I was talking about. So Practice Brawler, we're going to need to deal with because it does use a lot of endurance when it fires. It's on auto, so it fires sometimes in the middle of a battle, which, you can't necessarily, I don't want to stop doing it because I want it to fire so that it overlaps. But we're going to need to add another slot to it. Probably going to need to 4-slot it. My guess would be add a 3rd slot with a DO, not an SO. We don't need an SO on it for good measure for our recharge, or maybe if we put invention level 30s, it might be sufficient. Then a 3-slot would work with a single endurance reducer. So what I'll probably do is give it a single slot and put the recharger on it for now. Maybe level 27 I'll try to hit it with a level 30 invention trainers, and we'll see how that works. That might be enough. I think they're 33 or 4%. So we'll see. As you can see, it's quite helpful to have this extra. Eventually our inspiration tray will be 4 high. I believe that's the end of it. 20 total. So we have to bust him and his crew. I think that means taking out everybody. Okay. This is another weird one where the spawns are odd. They're just single spawns. This is very strange. If this keeps up, I'm going to definitely have to bump up the difficulty because it's just too easy to fight one guy at a time. There we go. That's a normal spawn. Let's see. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is our endurance holding up better? It's hard to tell. This is a pretty open map, so there's a lot of space between the spawns, and it gives me a lot of time to sort of run around. And the running around gives the recovery time to work. So we'll just have to see. Definitely need to get more slots on these attack powers so that we can 3-hit these guys. Because it's the other reason why our endurance takes so long to, or why our endurance drops so fast, is because we're not doing enough damage. Once they're triple slotted for damage, plus, well, once they're 6 slotted and they have 3 damage slots, we'll be in much better shape. Do I hear a glowy? I thought I heard a glowy. Oh, there's a Superidine. Yes, we're gonna have to destroy that. So Button Man. So that was a lieutenant with 2 minions. So the spawns are very not standard in some of these missions. Okay, we've now got half the lux we want. This is how I like to run with a tray like this. Eventually with the 4th one, it's 2 of these, 2 reds, a column of blues, a column of greens, and 2 columns of lux. That's sort of generally how I like to do it. I don't know if this thing's going to blow up on us and drug us. We'll have to just see. Hopefully not. And where are we now? Small explosion? No, that's nothing. Okay, so let's see. There's another whole area here. Is that Fat Tony? No. Or Tony One Eye. Tommy One Eye. Fat Tony, what is he from The Simpsons? I think so. Yeah, somebody, interestingly enough, so somebody on the Reddit, the COH Reddit, which I hardly ever read, made a post, and I guess he's playing a Super Reflexes Scrapper, and he's getting frustrated, and he said something like, you know, is it even friggin' possible to do Super Reflexes at just gimped? Should I just give up? And, you know, people were giving him some pretty good advice, and what they were saying, you know, of course, was you only have defense. You don't have any real resistance. You don't have a heal. It's a one-trick pony, which it is. But one of the things I pointed out was, the thing is, you're a scrapper, right? And to some degree, your defense doesn't matter. That's not to say that it's irrelevant. You know, defenses are great and they do help, but as a scrapper, what you're supposed to be doing is putting out tons of damage, right? So if you're going after a boss, that boss shouldn't live long enough to swing it more than a couple of times at you, or be awake. Since we're not killing things, we're just defeating them. That boss should not be swinging at you 12 or 15 times. You should be putting it down fast. Right, so if you look at these guys, 1, guy got a shot off at me. 2 shots gotten off at me. Right? Maybe 3. 3, if that. So the thing is, if they only have, with my toggles on, like a 20% chance to hit, which is what minions have, 50% minus my 30 from the toggles, then that means that they get 3 shots. Only at most one of them will land, maybe not even 1. And that's why Super Reflexes is so nice, because if you take them out as fast as you should be taking them out as a scrapper, and I've been running this whole mission with Super Jump on, which is stupid, if you take them out as fast as a scrapper should be taking them out, the 1 or 2 shots they get at you are not going to land. You see, we had 2 misses on me right there. And now with Focus Chi, oh, it didn't trigger. There it goes, 3 shots at me, all missed. 4 shots at me, all missed. Right, because they only have like a 20% chance to hit. And so the idea is, you want to take them out so fast that the only couple of shots they get at you, they just don't hit, right? Because they have such a low probability, they're just not going to hit you. And of course, if we follow my rule of using luck and flooring these guys, then we can also get away with avoiding a lot of damage, right? He got 1 hit on me. 2, and he hit me once. And that's it. Now we're going to have to take a knee because I went too fast through all those spawns. But notice, our health bar isn't going anywhere, right? And that's because we're not resistance based. They have to hit us, and they can't, right? They only have a 1 in 5 chance to hit if they're white cons. They might have maybe a 25% chance to hit if they're yellow. That's a Capo Gunner, right? So this is a big spawn, but they're not going to have a lot of opportunities because I'm going to nail this guy. And then I'm going to take these guys out. See how fast they're going down? So, what? 2 things hit me and half of them are gone. Right? There was a couple misses from him. He missed me twice. That one hit me with an AoE. I don't have any defense against that, right? So the buckshots are dangerous because I don't have any defense against them, but here we go, right? Where's my health bar? That's the way Super Reflexes works. If you are able to get them out fast, but the point is, your main play is not defense, it's offense. Right? That's what you should be about as a scrapper, is doing massive damage as fast as possible and just beating the crap out of things so they can't do anything to you, right? Now you could say with resistance that works too, but they're going to hit you each time, or some of the time. And so it's, yeah, if they only get 3 or 4 hits at you, they're still going to hit you a couple times, and it's going to wear your hit points down. Now that doesn't mean that resistance is inferior, I'm not saying that, but defense is entirely viable as long as you're doing what you should be doing as a scrapper and putting out massive damage and doing knockbacks and stuns and things like that. So we've now gained about a bead in this mission, which is reasonable. It's not an unreasonable amount. Is that the boss there? Capo muscle. Let's take this thing out. Oh, there's a guy here. Hang on. And that sucks when you miss. That's really annoying. Stun him. We didn't stun him. That's unfortunate. Look at that. I've almost got a full tray of what I want. And see how he just missed me a couple times in a row? Now let's finish this. Yeah, I think, seriously, these boxes can take more than a boss, or take as many hits as a boss. It's just kind of silly. It's a box. I should be able to destroy it in 2 hits. There is another thing of Superdine. So let's go ahead and stun this guy. And then smack the crap out of these guys. Right? And now this guy. See, there went Practice Brawler. And now this guy. So now with all these lucks, right, I have 6 lucks now. And so I can do 2 lucks against, say we fight the boss, I can do 2 lucks, 2 lucks, 2 lucks. And that will not floor him, but it'll get him really down, right? 2 lucks is 25%. I have 30%, right, reduction to his ability to hit, right? So that's a total of 55, and he's got a 65 to hit, so that drops into 10%. Which is not bad. That is effectively flooring him. If he only hits me 1 out of 10 shots, he's going to get at most 1 hit on me before I take him down. And that's the whole idea. You take the boss down so fast that, you get him to 10% chance to hit, and then you take him out before he gets 10 swings. You might not take a single hit from him. Or at most 1 or 2, and you can take 1 or 2 as a scrapper. So we've taken out all the drug caches. Look how big this map is. This is a huge map. We've taken out all the drug caches, and now we're just finishing out and looking for the boss. We earned a badge. This is probably from either doing damage or beating up family. Gangbuster. The family knows better than to mess with me. Excellent. Alright. These guys are just button men. Okay. Now sometimes they hit, right? 2 of those 3 shots hit. But then that's a 4th shot. So 1 of 4 hit me, 1 of 5, and they're done. Right? And only 1 guy got more than 1 swing at me. Oops, I meant to go up here. Oh, there he is. Okay. once. Out of 3. Out of 4. Right? Out of 5. Okay, I gotta do that. 6, 7. He hit me twice out of 7. No, he hit me once out of 7. This guy hit me once. But look at that. He only got 1 hit on me. And he's done. And now this guy... 1, 2, 3. Right? So he only got 1 hit on me because of those 2 lucks. And so that's why you want to down the lucks. And now that we have luck going, I'm going to go ahead and use it and fight these guys. So I was shot at... What? So I was swung at like 7 or 8 times. He hit me the first time. It didn't hit me a single time after that. Right? And that's because I had used 2 lucks, and those 2 lucks completely floored him. I probably didn't even need to use 2. 1 would have probably been sufficient. But I just wanted to demonstrate the principle. Right? He got 1 hit on me. My health bar went to here. That was it. This should finish the mission, I think. Yep. So we completed the mission, and we'll head out. Alright, that was a long mission. But we took care of it. And Ring of Peebles. That's a little less dying on the streets, Baradine, and a little less money in Seb Frost's pockets. Ring of Peebles. I've got a fish story for you, Silver Phoenix. And it's a beaut. Seems some researchers over in Eastgate Bay just pulled into port. They say they were attacked by some sort of a fish monsters. Interesting. They even say they've got one of the creatures down in their hold. I don't know if I believe them, but the council seem to. They've mounted an assault, so we're going to go on another ship. Wow. Alright. I think what we're going to do... Well, I guess we should continue this. Let's go ahead, guys, and we'll continue this mission. This story arc. I don't know how long it is. We don't seem to be really... it doesn't seem to have parts the way the other story arcs do, so I don't know how long it is. We'll see. Yep, this is another giant map. This is single origin heal, right? We can buff this up. This is single origin accuracy, but I don't use them. I'm using training. Or, well, not training, but invention trainers. So, alright. So now this is Council. Both Council and Family are fairly easy for super reflexes. They don't have a lot of extra bonuses to us. So we gotta recover a specimen and save 4 researchers. Oh, this guy, the marksman, debuffing my recharge speed is gonna stink. Come on, let's get this guy so we can get this one. Yeah, the marksman is the one with the ice bullets. He's out, and now this is the Force, which has the machine gun. So they didn't hit me enough to do much, right? So we saved 1 hostage. This is going to be one heck of a map again. So this is going to end up being a long episode, I guess, because I didn't realize... Well, I mean, I realized before I came in here, but... so these are all newer missions, and I want to make, well, at this point, these ship... massive dose of inspiration in order to solo Countess Cray. Well, they always said you could solo bosses or EBs, but you would need the right insps to do it. I mean, Statesman always would say you should expect to use a full tray of the right inspirations to defeat an elite boss if you're going to solo it. Or even a regular boss, he used to say, but you don't need it for regular bosses. I mean, once you've got... could call them sugars and make a cool pose. It's totally fine. Now, that I have no defense against. That was an AoE. Right, that was an AoE from the grenade, so those guys are the most dangerous to me. I think it was the grenade that shot it to me. It might have been the force. Come on. Oh, a Raider Engineer. We gotta take him out super fast. So the Sky Raiders are fighting for this too. Trying not to knock him back into the other set of spawns. We don't need this. Alright, now I don't care. Because he's done. Take out the marksman so he doesn't slow me too much. Alright, and now these guys. Grenade. You have my AoEs. I don't have defense against you, so we will take him out. We don't need that yellow, so go ahead and use that. Do we miss anything? Just don't want to miss any hostages. Oh, yep, there's somebody up there. And I gotta defeat all villains anyway, so let's get him taken out. Oh, and there's villains up there too. Yeah, he's shooting all that at me, but he didn't hit. Excellent. I now have exactly what I want in my tray of inspirations. No lieutenants. Just single, just white con spawns. Now, I've been hit a couple times. That hurts. It does happen with super reflexes. That's the thing. You live by luck. So if you get hit a bunch of times, you can take some damage. We'll just go ahead and rest here. It's not that big of a deal. Notice, guys, that I'm able to go through a giant mission like this and maybe stop once or twice to rest, and probably don't really have to stop even those times. Alright, so we've been everywhere in here now, I think. And we move on to the next area. And I always do this sort of looking around the corners, because oftentimes there are bad guys are right there, and then they will ambush you. They're all shooting me. Okay, that's fine. See how fast we put them out. Oh, missed. That stinks. There we go. Now he's slowing my recharge rate, but not too bad. It's so nice having these extras, right? Because we know we can run just fine with this amount down here, so these are just little extra bonuses. Oh, there's somebody. There's a lieutenant, finally. You can see, it seems like we're now earning experience at a reasonable rate. Like I said before, maybe 1 bead per mission. Maybe a bead and a half, that's not so bad. You can do 10, 12 missions per level. And since most of the story arcs seem to be about 6 or 7 missions, you can, you know, do a story arc and a half per level, which is perfectly fine. That means you get through about 7 or 8 story arcs. In a 5-level sequence. Oh, how do I miss with a focus cheat? Crane kick. And with an accuracy on it. I must have rolled a 97 or something. No need to check it. Notice we are missing an awful lot less with our single origin accuracy enhancers on here. Alright, and now we have to click on this, save the specimen, and save the last researcher. And we have to defeat all, so we may as well just keep going. But notice how we basically can go through this mission as fast as we can go. There's essentially no risk, right, which is kind of boring. So that's why I think once we get Dragon's Tail, we're going to bump this up to either count as if we're two heroes instead of one, or maybe +1. We'll try maybe both ways and see which way we like it. The only problem with doing that is you do get bonus experience for completing the mission when you do that, which I really don't want. So there's a Skyraider captain. Do we have an engineer? We do not. Alright, so these are just 2 lieutenants. Yeah, this is not really a problem. We'll do 1 luck, just for good measure since we have so many of them. I mean, that's what they're there for. And they're hitting me like crazy. Alright, so we'll get this guy. Yep, there's the soft control. Now some of that hitting AoEs, and some of it is when you've got that many guys shooting at you, right? Somebody's gonna hit eventually, right? We had like 6 guys shooting at us, right? And each one of them had about a 20% chance to hit, so that means every round you're gonna take 1 hit. And there we go. So that takes him out. Anybody else? Ah, there's another group. But notice we can still go just from spawn to spawn, even though that was a tough spawn. And the luck lasts a decent amount of time, so it's just wearing out now. There we go. And we don't need these, so we'll go ahead and take them. And move on to the next section. And there's the last prisoner, it looks like. Two hits for him. 2 hits for him. So now we just gotta defeat all the villains. We've saved everybody, we've got the specimen. That is a cool sounding blast. There are some great special effects in this game. Don't need that, so I'll just go ahead and use it. Perfect. It's a lot easier to keep the inspirations you want when the tray is bigger, for whatever reason. I guess because you just have more places to put things. Look how fast everything goes down now. Don't need that. Oops, I aggroed 2 groups. That's no problem. I didn't see the guys behind me. Yeah, that like really cool laser sound is awesome. Is that the jump bot? That's a cool sound. Got him. Got him. Anybody up? For whatever reason, they only seem to be up top on in the first section. Ah, and there's a boss. Okay. Here we go. This is a really large spawn. Alright, we got him. This guy's also a boss, he's just a lower level boss. Alright. Need a little more luck here. I didn't realize there were 2 bosses because I was sloppy. And I also over-aggroed. I should have done a pull. But one thing I do like about scrappers is that they can sort of survive an overpull. Okay, you're done now. I have focus chi up again. Got him. So there should be just a few more of these guys, I guess. Notice how even after that fight, I could just go straight into another battle. Now, yes, we had to use inspirations. That was because I didn't overpull and I made a mistake. But we can still do pretty well with this. Right? Our soft control helps us out. And our super reflexes did a pretty good job. Now what? More guys? Where the heck are they? Hitting tab like crazy. I don't know where they are. Let's zoom out. Maybe we'll see. Up there, I missed a guy way up at the front. I always miss a guy coming in. I have to say I am very grateful that they started doing this, because I would have, run back little by little, checking every single room in great detail when it's probably just a guy who fell down into a crack somewhere, like that. Right? And I didn't see him because he was in the crack. It was probably one of those spawns where I was like, how come there's only one guy here? And that's why. Alright. So we're done with this mission. We can head out. And I think we're going to stop, but first let's talk to our contact. Did you get a look at the contents of the crate? Ick. I don't know how or why those researchers found that thing, but I'm sure they don't. I sure hope they don't find any more. So I wonder if you'd be willing to help me out with a personal problem, Silver Phoenix. See, I lost my ring, my wedding ring. Last night at the Mermaid, it just disappeared. Ring of People. So now we finally get the ring. Okay. I've asked my friend Long Jack to look into the matter. He knows a lot of less savory folks. Could you go talk to Long Jack? Okay, we can talk to Long Jack. But we're going to do that another time. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'm Scrapper Lock, and this is City of Heroes.